Hello everybody, I'm Cambridge English teacher Rory, or Cambridge Rory from studentlanguages.com, and in today's video I'm being joined by a very special guest, which is Katia from English Bits.
What's up everybody? Thank you for having me, Rory.
Thank you for being here, Katia. So Katia is going to talk to us about her experience doing the CPE exam, which is the Cambridge Proficiency in English, which is a C2 level exam. But we'll also talk a little bit about the C1 Advanced or CAE exam. So hopefully there'll be some really useful tips and advice in this video for you guys. So Katia, my first question is, when and where did you do your CPE exam?
So I've taken all my Cambridge exams in Valencia because I'm living here, and I took my first exam in 2005, my CAE exam in 2013, and Proficiency in 2018, which is 4 years ago. Time flies.
Yes, it does, especially when you're having fun.
So much fun.
Why did you decide to do the CPE exam, Katia?
So there are different reasons. Firstly, because I like studying English, and I think that having an English exam ahead of you motivates you to learn lots of things, such as vocabulary. For example, I love learning idioms, phrasal verbs, expressions. So you can learn a lot when you have your exam in 2 months, for example. Secondly, I'm an English teacher, so I wanted to get the highest level because I want to be a professional. And also I prepare other students for these exams. So I think it's useful to have been in their shoes before.
Yeah, I think that's really useful. And that's something that I, for example, and many other native teachers, we don't have that attribute. Well, most of us, as far as I'm aware, haven't done a Cambridge exam.
Exactly.
ourselves.
And I think it can bring you closer.
Yeah, create a better connection with the student.
And last but not least, I think that passing a difficult and demanding exam can boost your confidence and help you overcome self-doubt when it comes to your English, especially when being a non-native English teacher.
Again, that's something which I, as a native English speaker, I haven't had to deal with that. I imagine it really is a big confidence boost.
Yeah.
My next question then, Katia, do you think that the CPE exam has helped you generally in life?
As I said before, passing the proficiency exam made me more confident about my English. And whenever I have doubts or feel like an imposter, I remember my feet. And actually, I bought this necklace so that it reminds me of my achievement.
It's a nice necklace.
Thank you. And I think that passing this exam helped my channel grow because I learned lots of things that I used to make videos for my channel. And it was nice to share my knowledge with other students so that they could also pass this exam like I did.
I will put a link to Katia's YouTube channel in the description below. For all you guys out there, you should go and check it out. There is some really useful videos there. So who would you recommend should take this exam, Katia?
So I'd say you should take this exam if you enjoy learning English because you're bound to learn lots of useful and interesting things. And also, if you think that your English is not good enough and you need a boost in confidence, take this exam because it will increase your self-esteem and your confidence when it comes to English.
Did you prepare differently for the CPE exam than the CAE exam, for example?
Actually, I think that it wasn't very different because I used a course book when I prepared all my Cambridge exams. So for example, this is the book I used to prepare the first exam, this one, the CAE, and the Proficiency. I think having a course book is really helpful. One difference would be that when I prepared the first and the CAE exams, I did some English courses. And when I prepared my Proficiency, I did it on my own. I just had some private classes, maybe 5, with a teacher just to prepare the speaking exam and to improve my writing skills.
So that's a really good sign that you guys can prepare yourselves for the English exams as well.
Yeah, totally. You can do it on your own.
Yeah, Katia is living proof of this. And I will put some links also to the books that Katia and I recommend in the description below as well. So my next question is a little bit more exam specific. I was wondering if you did all the different parts of the CPE exam on the same day or if it was split on different days.
So you do all the parts during the same week. Usually your speaking exam goes first and then on Saturday, the rest of the exam.
Can you remember if the rest of the exam is in a specific order?
I think it's always the same order. When you arrive, you first have the use of English and reading part. Then you have a break. After that, you have the written part. And the last part is listening. So it usually starts early in the morning at 9 a.m. and you finish more or less at 1 or 1:30.
And you did the paper-based exam, right?
Yeah, always. All my exams were paper-based because I really like underlining when it comes to doing the reading part.
Would you also, in the future, continue to do paper-based exams?
I don't think I'll take it once again, but if I have to repeat the exam, I'd do it paper-based. But I do think that nothing is perfect. Everything has its pros and cons. And for example, if it's computer-based, I think it would be better when it comes to writing because you can delete and you don't have to cross out and it's not as messy as if you write by hand, for example. And also maybe you get your results faster if it's computer-based.
My recommendation to you guys would be to, when you're doing sample papers beforehand, practice some in a paper format and also there are some available in computer format. I would practice with both and see what works better for you personally.
Maybe also computer would be better in terms of the sound because you have your headphones or earphones, so maybe. But I didn't have any problems with the sound. Okay.
Cambridge suggests that it takes about 200 hours of self-study or just preparation to move from one CEFR level, for example, B2, to the next level. So 200 hours to move from B2 to C1. Does that seem fairly accurate to you, do you think, Katia?
I can't tell you how many hours I put into preparing my exams. Especially the proficiency one, because I teach English on a daily basis. So it's really hard to know how many hours. But I can tell you that it's a never-ending journey learning a language. And although I have this certificate, I continue learning new things every single day. Anyway, on my channel, I have a video in which I explain how I prepared this exam, what materials I used, and how I prepared every part of the exam. And I made this video after taking the proficiency exam 4 years ago. So if you're preparing this exam, check it out. I think it can be useful.
Okay, yeah, I'll put a link to that in the description as well. It was interesting what you said about it being like a lifestyle, no? You're learning English every day. I think that actually your approach to learning English, there are ways you can kind of cheat the exams, I suppose, by focusing on techniques and things. But I think the best approach is to try and see learning English as a hobby. And if you view it like that, I think you'll be more motivated and I think you'll do better in general and also in exams.
Of course, English is your lifestyle and I try to immerse myself in English and to do as many activities as I can in English. For example, on a daily basis, I watch movies and TV shows in English. I meditate in English and try to surround myself as much as I can with English.
When you say you meditate in English, do you mean you're thinking in English or you
no,
listen to?
I use this very famous app, which is Headspace, and it's a guided meditation. So my teacher is Andy and his accent is British. So I listen to him and he guides me through my practice.
Cool. Sounds really interesting. I might have to go and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's amazing.
What did you think for you was the hardest part of the CPE exam?
So I'd say it's the listening part because unlike in the reading exam, here you only have 2 shots. So it takes a great deal of concentration and focus. And to make things worse, it's the last part of the exam. So by the time you do the listening exam, you're already mentally drained.
End of the day.
Or you're focused and alert, or you don't get the answer.
Could you tell me your 3 top or 3 really good tips for preparing for the exam?
Sure. So my tip number 1 would be get enough sleep and rest, because as I said before, it's a very demanding exam, especially mentally demanding. So you need to feel rested, and you'd better not be in a fog because you need to react very quickly.
Yeah, I always struggled with getting enough sleep before exams, unfortunately.
Me too. And actually, when I took my proficiency exam, I remember I didn't get my 8 hours.
You still passed.
Yeah, I did. So don't worry. If you don't get enough sleep, there is a chance you can pass it.
There is always hope. What about your second tip?
My second tip, I would take some snacks with you when going to the exam, because you have some breaks and you need to get some energy. For example, in my case, I liked having some chocolate or a Coke to activate my brain.
Yeah, a little sugar hit. Quick,
That's right.
Quick bit of energy.
Sugar rush.
Sugar rush, yeah. That's a good idea. I think I would do the same. Maybe I would take a banana or something. I like bananas. A third tip for us, please, Katia.
And I think it's the most important one. So if one part of your exam goes pear-shaped, my recommendation is don't give up and fight for each point, no matter how hopeless the situation looks. I always remembered Rafa Nadal when I was taking my exam, because he's very strong when it comes to mental strength. And it really helped me. Don't give up, don't surrender, and keep going and fight for each point you can get.
It's a really lovely tip. And I think that's a really, really good piece of advice as well.
Yeah, like find your inspiration, a person you look up to.
Yeah, I think that was a really, really good point, Katia. Something that I hadn't really thought about before. And I loved your example of using Rafa Nadal, because he really does fight for every point.
Yeah, and you never know, you can turn the game around.
Yes, you can. So at this point, I'd like to say thank you very much, Katia, for coming and sharing your words of wisdom with us.
It was my pleasure, Rory. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And if you guys out there enjoyed this video and you want to see more of Katia's videos, again, there is a link to her YouTube channel in the description below.
Yeah, check out my videos, because I make lots of lessons focused on Cambridge exams.
All right, guys. From Katia and myself, bye-bye and see you very soon.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.